Now, Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.
All right, Paul, thanks very much. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. 412-575-2600 is the number to call on the Bordas & Bordas hotline if you would like to be heard. We were on the air afterwards for a couple of hours, took a lot of interesting calls. Steelers had an opportunity and a golden one after a bye week at home and came on and got dominated basically on all sides of it, from coaching, from execution, line play, just about everywhere. Defensively, that was the biggest factor in this game. When you score 42, regardless of some of the issues the offense had, play calling, what have you, when you score 42, you should be able to win against a team like Jacksonville on the road. And yet, they gave up 45 points. The defense was just awful at critical times. And maybe we shouldn't have been surprised. You know, when looking back, and I thought, and I think a lot of people thought, some of those big plays the Steelers gave up in wins, and they had 13 wins, so there was a lot to like about what they did. But at the same time, there were some tendencies that you look at and say, man, they got gouged for plays over 40 yards, pass plays over 50 yards. They were one of the worst in the NFL in each of those categories. And today, Jacksonville, unlike last week, they were not afraid to unleash Blake Bortles, and he did a very good job in the pass game engineering that offense, and quite frankly in the red zone where it's money zone, it's a green zone, it is the money area. They were 5 for 5. And then I guess if you look even further into the numbers, and I saw this but I thought, okay, fine, you can make stats out of stats. It's a weak division they play in, but they were one of the top teams in red zone efficiency, so it's no surprise that they go in there and they come away with points, and boy did they today. The Steelers, so many third and long situations, could not get off the field. Jacksonville handed it to them. They never trailed in this game, and regardless of what you think about slow starts, and maybe they shouldn't define a game, this one was defined by why they started. 21-0, that's a huge hole to try to get out of, and they never did get out of it. They chased points, they lost, and now the Steeler offseason begins. So many things to talk about. Join us tonight, 11:35 on KDKA. It's the #1 Cochran Sports Showdown. Joe Starkey, Tim Benz, Will Graves, all will be here, and we all have very interesting thoughts about what the Steelers must do moving forward, what happened today, and the blame game. We'll play it, and we're going to play it with you as well. So call here right now at 412-575-2600. Also, if you saw the end of the New Orleans game, my goodness, it looked like New Orleans had overcome a 17-0 deficit. They had control of the game, 3rd and 10, last play of the game for all intents and purposes, and Case Keenum throws a ball down the – you would think that New Orleans knew that you just can't let anyone go deep behind you, whatever the case may be. It was one of the worst safety decisions ever, maybe in postseason. And, man, if this had happened here, what would have been taking place on these talk shows tonight? Bottom line is, somehow, some way, the Vikings prevail. 29-24 on the last play of the game. They win. They move on and take on Philadelphia next week in the NFC Championship. That one in Philadelphia. And here's the thing about Minnesota. If they win, the Super Bowl is in Minneapolis. They'll be playing a home game. No team has ever played a home game in the Super Bowl, but essentially that's what this would be if Minnesota could win one more game. So New Orleans is out. The quarterbacks that are left, Case Keenum, Nick Foles, Blake Bortles, and Tom Brady. Who do you think has the advantage there, at least in that department, although Keenum has been very good. And Foles, don't be fooled by Foles. I mean, he's had some pretty good success at times in the NFL. You don't look at him as certainly a Carson Wentz and a franchise type of quarterback, but should be no surprise that he knows how to manage a game, and boy, did he do that yesterday as well. Tonight, the Penguins, and boy, they're on a little bit of a surge here, ladies and gentlemen. They win again. This is 4 in a row, interrupted by a bye, 2 before the bye, 2 after the bye, back-to-back weekend wins, and impressive tonight against the New York Rangers, who come to town. They were tied with the Penguins. The Penguins now jump ahead of them by virtue of a 5-2 win, which in my estimation could have been 10-2 if not for Henrik Lundqvist. The Penguins really came out in the second period, and they started to dominate. They threw 47 shots on goal for the night against Lundqvist, and like I said, he was outstanding. The Penguins are starting to get to their game, and that could be bad news for the rest of the Eastern Conference. Phil Kessel has been terrific. He's got his 20th goal, his 700th career point. Sidney Crosby, goal number 399 in his career. Just a lot of good stuff to talk about in that game, and we'll do it with you as well. 412-575-2600 is the number to call. We'll be back and take your calls next right here on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call, 7 nights a week on Pittsburgh's CW. The Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call is brought to you by Ireland Contracting, putting new roofs on Pittsburgh homes for over 25 years. Call Ireland Contracting at 1-800-NEW-ROOF.